I am not sure how to start this, but everyone needs their own guide to surviving their period. And I may just have the guide for you. So in today's video, we shall discuss your ultimate guide to surviving your period. I'm also going to give you some feminine hygiene tips, and we are going to discuss everything from your diet as to what to eat and exercise. Please keep in mind the warning below that I am not a medical professional or, I might edit that out, or a dietitian. That is what I meant to say. So without further ado, now you know I don't like wasting your time and hold you any longer. So first things first is your diet. Do I have food around me? No. Should you during your period? You should be able to go and run in the kitchen and get it. So I think it's best for us to just go over what is your period. So your period is when your uterus sheds its lining once every 28 days. Please do your research, okay? Like I said, I'm not a medical professional. Let's put the mic down a little bit. So every 28 days, your uterus as a woman goes through this cycle to begin the process, which is called menstruation. Look, y'all know what I'm trying to say, your period. So during those changes, most have symptoms of soreness in certain parts of our body, cramps in the midsection, and we have irritability, we have the mood swings. Just want to put that out there. I encourage you to do your utmost ultimate research when it comes to that, because I'm not a medical professional. I'm here to provide you the basics based off of experience. So the first thing to note about your period is that aside from all the physical aspects of symptoms that you're going to have, you need to keep in mind of your diet. So what do I mean by diet? I don't mean diet as going on a diet and I don't mean diet as in 1, 2, 3, all of that. Okay? Just ignore my arms. By diet, I mean you need to adjust your diet and you need to adjust what you are eating as soon as you feel the first symptom that your menstrual cycle, that your period is about to come on. Even if the physical aspect, the most obvious part of it, the blood expelling itself from your body, of your vagina. See, here's a disclaimer. If you're squeamish, click off the video because we finna use some medical terms, okay? You need to begin to change your diet the moment you feel the first symptoms. So you have the symptoms of irritability, cramps, mood swings. You start to feel like you need a caffeine boost. I'm gonna tell you right now, caffeine, you're gonna need a notebook, baby. From this point on, if you don't listen, it's on you. You're gonna have to rewind it back. You need caffeine is not going to be your best friend on your menstrual cycle because it causes you to crash. It gives you that high and that energy that you feel that you need. That means in the area of coffee, energy drinks, the natural Lesk energy drinks, that they're energy drinks, but they are making claims of, well, we're not as sugary, we don't have as high as caffeine. It's still an energy drink, which means it's still a higher form of sugar that you want to try to decrease at all costs as much as possible. The level of sugar content, from the moment you feel your first symptom that your menstrual cycle is coming, before your menstrual cycle is there, before it comes, before it arrives, before Miss Ma'am show up. You heard me? Okay. Caffeine is not your friend. What do you drink? And I'm going to tell you from my experience. You don't want to lean on teas too much, but then you also, ginger tea is good. Basically, anything that would help your cramps and that is anti-inflammatory. Look, the warning is still there at the bottom of the video. I'm not a medical professional. Basically, anything anti-inflammatory you want to drink. Swap out them sodas unless unless you feel like you have to have it or you're feeling nausea. Just swap out the ginger ale, swap out the lemon lime soda. And most of y'all know what brand I was finna say out my mouth. I wasn't led to say it. My McDonald's has one of the most powerful versions of that lemon lime soda. Okay. Ginger tea is good. Lemon and ginger and tea is good. something anti-inflammatory. This is where you're going to have to get with doc and do your research and figure out what is best for you. Second, what else do you drink if you don't want to do teas and to swap that out from your caffeine or from your urge to run towards caffeine? You see what I'm saying? Cranberry juice is good. That also tends to run itself through your body, and then you wind up smelling like cranberries. And pineapple juice is good. Just be mindful of the sugar content. If you have a juicer or if you're willing to invest in a juicer, you should do that. Me personally, I like to look for the lowest amount of sugar content. So low double digits, 10 grams and under. If you could find cranberry juice like that, pineapple, most juices aren't like that. I know you're saying to yourself, what's she talking about? I don't know no fruit juice that's 10 grams of sugar and lower. This is what you do. You take a glass, you pour half the juice in there, put the cap back on the bottom, put the rest of the juice in the fridge. Take water, fill up with the rest. You want to dilute your fruit juices if you're not able to find fruit juices to drink during your menstrual cycle that is anything lower in grams, lower than 10 grams of sugar and lower. Because most aren't. I've seen most cranberry juices 30 grams and up. I'm like, baby. I have sat there and drunk soft drinks, which I shall not name the brand. I'm not being led to say it. And boy, you could crack a salt lick with that because it's just got so, you could taste the salt in it. How I got all this sugar and I can taste salt in it? What? Yeah. We not. And then most importantly, you over all juices and teas, you want to drink water primarily. One that's going to help you help flush out what's going on with your body during this 28-day cycle, your menstrual cycle. From I'm talking about from the moment you feel symptoms until it's over with. Okay, when it's over, I mean from symptoms to that blood expelling itself out of your body, and then the menstrual cycle stopping, and then the cycle starting all over again. Because that's usually how it works. Water. So water, teas, and fruit juices. Make sure you're drinking more water. You want to make sure that you're drinking a higher percentage of water than you are tea and juices combined together. And this is me saying this from experience. You feel me? Okay. Now, we have the drink portions of it. We're still in the diet section. And when I say diet, I mean just eating habits. Your eating habits should change the moment you feel the first symptom of your menstrual cycle, no matter what that is. Okay, get it? Got it? No? Rewind it back. Food. We're going to start with savory foods. You want to eat the leanest protein. You don't want to have your menstrual cycle diet be void of protein. What am I saying to you? Anything omega-3 healthy, anything high in iron, bring on that steak. That if it When I tell you I'm thankful for those. I saw it on TikTok. I said, I'm gonna put it to the test. You lose iron allegedly, okay, when you start having symptoms of your menstrual cycle. So leading up to that, you want to bulk up on the iron. You don't want to overdo it, and you want to watch how you're cooking it. You want to saute and sear over frying. That's for all savory foods. I know how tempting it is to go get some fried chicken of a certain brand, or 3 or 4 or 5. I know how tempting it is to go get that chicken sandwich of a certain brand, or 3 or 5. But if you can, opt for grilled over fried. Seared steak, iron, okay? Bulk up that iron from the first moment you have those symptoms of your menstrual cycle, long before your menstrual cycle comes, because the sooner that you can get started, the quicker that you can get started on replenishing the iron in your body as a woman around that time of the month. Like from the moment them first few symptoms hit you, before the physical evidence shows up, before you have to start putting on pads and period underwear and a tampon and all the and menstrual cups or whatever you use, the better it is going to be, because you're going to feel better. Because I'm telling you from experience, you don't want to feel tired. Your body's already been depleted of so much if you wait until your menstrual cycle comes on. Then it's just like you're beating your it's then it's just like you're racing against the clock to replenish your iron. Have that steak ready. Sear it, saute it, no frying. I know it tastes good. I know you're talking to a person that I used to eat everything I was big and bad enough to eat during my menstrual cycle. All the candy bars, all the fried foods from all the places that had value menu and no value menu, dollar menu and no dollar menu, $2 menu and no $2 menu, value meal of a certain amount under $5 and not. I'd lived through all of that. I'm telling you, as much as possible, dial it back. Well, how do I do that? Swap out one item at a time. If you normally go for the fried chicken sandwich from a certain place, ask go and you're having a craving. It's around that time of the month, almost there. She's knocking on the door, but she ain't, you know, she ain't there yet all the way. She ain't arrived. If you know what I mean. The next time you go to that place, ask if they have grilled over fried, if they have grilled as an option. Swap out your choices slowly when you eat fast food as cravings if you feel like you cannot do without it during the time of the month or during your first few days of those symptoms showing up just before the menstrual cycle actually hits. Because then that's going to help you be more efficient, and the less fried foods is going into your body, that's also going to help. You want to put more beneficial things within you as far as consumption than for you to put something in there that's going to make you feel more groggy and tired. Because it will. Okay, you are what you eat. Okay, do your research. Not a dietitian. For sweets, I shared a tip in a recent video. I believe it was this one. And I was just talking about a Dove cranberry and orange peel body wash. It's limited edition. But it made me think of one of my favorite desserts that I like to eat. You want to opt for, and I'm going to just go on and say this before I give you the cranberry snack again. For sweet cravings, you want to opt for 100% fruit juice made fruit snacks if that's what you're going to go for. For chocolate, get the darkest, most bittersweet chocolate. Why? Because the more milk that's included into it, the one, it could boil and bubble up your stomach, and then you'll be camped out in the bathroom for the majority of your menstrual cycle. You don't want that. Get the bittersweet chocolate. Studies have been shown, and you can do it yourself, that bittersweet dark chocolate, there's a reason why I'm saying like that, has more benefits for you, but make sure you're eating it in moderation. 100% fruit juice fruit snacks is much better for you than the mainstream stuff. Okay, you can figure out what the mainstream stuff is by doing research and doing a quick search on Google. Here's my cranberry snack, I'm going to also share with you a couple swaps that I did. And these are swaps that I made. Mind you, I'm in my 30s now, but I made these swaps as a teenager, swapping out things over the years. So I swapped out fruit snacks for chocolate with 100% fruit juice. At the time, Lifesaver gummies. Now, I still liked them, but eventually I had to phase out of the Lifesaver gummies, like stuff like that. 100% fruit juice, okay? You're making these swaps one at a time, gradually, for your health. And I want you to keep a menstrual cycle journal, however you want to do it, digital, I don't know. And every time you make a swap, like you go to your favorite fast food and you normally get the fried chicken sandwich, I'm going back to the savory side just a little bit real quick. And you ask them for grilled chicken, then I want you to write down and date in your menstrual cycle journal, whatever you want to call it. And I want you to notice for the first 24 hours, how did you feel eating the grilled sandwich over your usual fried chicken? If you find you're not feeling as groggy and tired and ready to, and ready to rumble, not WWE, okay? That's something you want to look back on, so that way when you get to the next month of your menstrual cycle, then you have something to look back on, like, okay, let me just stay with grilled chicken over the fried, what I normally get. Now back to the savory. Here's my cranberry snack. Hear me out. Jellied cranberry. I want y'all to hear this. I'm gonna edit that out. Jellied cranberry. White granulated sugar or brown sugar is healthier. Okay? And then I want you to get fat-free whipped cream or plain Greek yogurt that is low fat. Get it plain. Why I need to get it plain? Because you're already going to be adding brown sugar, and that's going to account for the sugar combination between your jelly cranberry, not with the dried cranberries throughout it, like the jelly cranberry to look like jello. Get that, dice that thing up, put it in several meal prepping dessert containers, condiment cups is what they call them. CONDIM is a Mary ENT, condiment cups. Them little dessert cups. This is what you want to do it for. You want to get into meal prepping your desserts. If not, buy yourself a cup. Go to the grocery store and buy yourself about 5 cans of jellied cranberry sauce. Okay. Open up one. Put it in about 4 to 5 dessert cups, dice that stuff up. Then next layer is sprinkled brown sugar, then whipped cream on the top. Put in a little swirl. Presentation is everything. Here's the purpose of this dessert. 1. Cranberries have known to be very beneficial for us as women. 2. If you eat enough of it, you'll wind up smelling great, and it helps your lady parts, your vagina, to smell really good, and it offers reproductive benefits for us as well. Gotta love a cranberry. Now, here's the thing. I did this because I didn't have anything else to eat and I was tired of eating junk. And I'm like, what do I eat? And I just happened to make this dessert by accident, thank the Lord. Because I was just like, I don't know what to eat. You see what I'm saying? So, hear me out. The tanginess of the jellied cranberry combined with the mild sweetness of the brown sugar and the creaminess of your fat free whipped cream or regular or plain Greek yogurt combined together is going to create a cheesecake like effect for you. You see what I'm saying? And it's still going to satiate, it still should satisfy your sweet craving, but because cranberries is in it, you're going to have a benefit to it. This is a dessert that you can ultimately customize, and it's going to be very beneficial to you. You see what I'm saying? What is another one? Peaches and honey. Swap out the honey, tends to be high in sugar. Get yourself canned peaches or get yourself a fresh peach or frozen peaches. Saute them things or either just get them canned if you don't feel like fooling with them. You see, you know how it is with your menstrual cycle. You might feel too tired and might not have enough energy to, or feel like you have enough energy to do it. Get the canned peaches or the cup peaches that already come in a single size serving. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Just like the applesauce in a cup, they have peaches in a cup. Or get your favorite fruit in a cup, the see-through plastic cups. Dump that in a bowl. You want to get either maple syrup, sugar-free, or low-end sugar, double digits. The low double digits meaning 10 grams and under, or you can get agave syrup, which is really good and is a bit healthier of a swap that you can make other than honey. If you're going to do honey, I would drizzle a little bit in it at a time and then eat instead of dumping the honey in it. And then your next thing you know, the sweetness of the peaches and the sweetness of the honey is entirely too much. And now you feel like you could crack a salt lick with so much sugar in it. Drizzle a little bit at a time, toss that honey back in the cupboard, and eat them peaches and honey. If you just have to have it, if you just feel like you have to. But maple syrup is a good option, and agave syrup is also a good option. And I know, like, I'm gonna just stop right here because I know y'all wondering, well, why is she? When I said you're gonna need a notebook, I said you're gonna need a notebook because you're getting all of my experience in one video. One, you heard me. That's what you get. Now, what is another dessert I used to have? I can't think of anymore. But if I think of any more, I will be sure to share it with you. The savory side of things. If you're gonna get pizza, lay off of the pepperoni unless you're going to opt for turkey pepperoni. I would do that. Lay back off the salt. If you intend on doing salt, I would intend to get no salt type of seasonings, as sodium will kind of affect you during your menstrual cycle as well. You don't want to eat so much salt that you crack a salt lick. It's the same thing with too much sugar. That's all I got to say about the diet portion of things. Whew. So, what's next when it comes to your menstrual cycle? So now you've figured out. Walk with me with this. Come on. Let's travel on. So now that we've established as to what your menstrual cycle diet should be, what you should eat, what you should be drinking more of, more than the fruit juices and the teas, water, what to do with savory foods, what to do with sweet foods, and a couple of sweet dessert craving ideas. Well, what if you don't like cranberry? Take your favorite fruit and get the dried fruit and do the fat free. Take yourself some dried fruit and do some fat free Greek yogurt or the fat free whipped cream or regular, and you can still do the same thing. You can just, if it's already sweet enough for you, don't put no brown sugar in it. Just go straight with the Greek yogurt and build yourself a couple layers in a dessert jar, or one of your finest glasses that has a lid, a secured lid, and you can make parfaits. It works. That's another dessert idea for you. But what do you do once you figure out what you should be drinking, what you should be consuming, what you should be eating savory wise, what you should be dessert wise. The choice is up to you. Now you can go ahead and haul off and do this and be like, this is too hard, I'm gonna go buy the chips. You talking to somebody that done bought the chips before and then probably tried a couple flavors. I done made the mistakes. My mistakes is your lessons. So the choice is up to you if you want to do it and continue it. Okay? After that, it's between you and God what you want to do. You feel me? Feminine hygiene products to use. I think now is as good as time as ever to address always what's going on with you always. What's going on with you? What's going on with you always? This is regular absorbency. I actually forgot I had these. I used to buy the scented one all the time. Am I gonna do the test? You sure you're right. I'm finna do the test. Feminine hygiene products. So, how do you want to secure leakage that's going to be coming out of your vagina during your menstrual cycle? I'm just making it plain for you, baby. How do you want to secure it? There's things called menstrual cups. I don't like that. Ain't my flow. Pun intended. It's not. There's pads outside of that. There are tampons outside that, and now period underwear. I'm gonna add a fifth one. The women's diapers, under incontinence underwear. 5. They're now being used as period underwear. Ain't no wrong with it. Ain't no shame in my game. Why should you be ashamed? If those work better for you, get them. Don't let nobody be like, oh, I want to use them incontinent pads, them incontinence underwear for my menstrual cycle. What going on, fancy pants? Pun intended. Go on. Maybe that don't work for them. I have found period underwear to be a blessing. You heard me? A total blessing. And this is coming from a person. I've worn the tampons. I've worn the tampons when they were cardboard before they started making them out of plastic. Okay, that long ago. Anybody ever heard of, what is it? You know what I'm talking about. The tampon that don't have a casing at all, and it's just that. Start with the letter O. It starts with the letter O or U. If I find it, I'll put it on the screen. So we got always. We got the honey pot. I don't do honey pot. It's just we can have another conversation about that at another time. But there are a variety of them. First, you need to figure out what am I going to use to secure the menstrual cycle, the leakage that's going to come out of my vagina. You choose menstrual cup, period panties, tampons, pads, and what I said before. You got to rewind it back. Me personally, I like to get the highest absorbency of always, of any brand really. Right now, I am currently not using Always. I'm using another brand, which I will save that for another discussion in another video. And it's proven to be okay, but it's also teaching me some things about the processing at which is going on to manufacture and to get these pads out to us. And I have a lot of questions about it. And so that's why I'm just not giving the name of it just yet, because I want to make sure I'm being very efficient before I bring it to you all. And none of this will be sponsored. This is my own research and stuff. I'm just really thankful to the Lord for that. If you're going to go with, here's a couple tips for everything except for the menstrual cup. And the reason why I say except for menstrual cups, because I have no experience with it, because I don't fool with it. It doesn't look secure to me. That's my personal opinion. Okay. For pads, you want to go with the highest absorbency, especially if you know your menstrual cycle tends to not be a consistent, it's not a consistent run from month to month. What do I mean by that? If it's heavy one month and light one month and heavy one month, or heavy followed by light heavy, it's never consistent. You should probably go see a doc about that, probably. And if you have and they say everything fine, then okay. For the simple fact that you can't predict if it's going to be heavy one month and lower another month, or heavy at the start and all the way through, or light at the start and then heavy on the way through to the end of it. Don't take a chance. Get the highest absorbency. Same thing with tampons, highest absorbency. They have overnight for some pads, they have overnight for some tampons. Now, here's the warning about the tampons. TSS is real. Don't play games with yourself. Don't play games with your health, is what I'm saying. You want to make a habit of changing your tampon unless you just legitimately forget or you're not feeling well during your menstrual cycle. 4 to 6 hours. Again, I'm not a gynecologist. I am not a medical professional at all. But habit of 4 to 6 hours, change the tampon. I don't care if it's in the middle of the night and it's just totally secure and ain't nothing leaked out. No. Also, I don't know why I want to say number 2. We on number 2. We went from pads to tampons. With tampons, you still want to wear a pad along with that because surprises will happen when you least expect it. Okay? Definitely. Here's a tip for when you're off your menstrual cycle or you feel like it's off and then you have those occasional surprise leakages when you thought it was over with and it was just trying to get rid of everything and everything wasn't gone yet. You know what I'm talking about when you think it's off and then, God, you and you done went out there and got yourself a nice outfit and you don't wear bright colors, make you nervous. You want to make sure you're wearing the tampons with the pads together as a combo. Go ahead and just have them to go together, okay? They're in a relationship. They're married, which means don't wear that high absorbency tampon without wearing that high absorbency pad to go with it. Even when you feel like your cycle is going off, still wear it for about 2 to 3 more days after when you personally know. This is where knowing your body is very important. That you know your menstrual cycle is okay, it's typically off after such and such an amount of days. Still wear it 2 to 3 days after that. You could at that point, if you're a tampon and pad wearer, then at the last day you feel like, okay, my menstrual cycle, I ain't wearing no more tampons. Instead of wear that high absorbency pad, opt for overnight, super or overnight, one or the other. Do that. You feel me? Do that because those surprise leakages will come out when you least expect it. It's like, I thought this was over with. Or what will happen, or sometimes you'll feel crampage and then the surprise leakage will come to let you know, hey, I ain't even done yet with you, sis. Because she do that. What am I referring to? She, her, the menstrual cycle. Okay. Now here's the thing, since always has some stuff going on. Okay. And I literally forgot I had these always pads. I would start doing experiments, maybe with filling up a pad with water and seeing and holding it up to the light like they've been doing, you know. They went viral for very interesting reasons, which is why I'm just touching very lightly on it and I will do my own research in the meantime. You want to make sure that you opt for maybe 100% cotton or not as bleached pads. I know you're saying to yourself, they bleach pads? I didn't know it either until I switched brands, switched from Always. Fun fact, I did not switch from Always just now because of what I just swapped out of cost because all them Always pads, the cost of them, them prices gone up. That's the reason why I really switched. And so I just said, you know what, I can't justify spending this much on Always even though I know they work well. This was months before what happened with Always. So I swapped brands. And then and only then I began to figure out, I'm like, why are these things smelling of bleach? Then it just led me to be like, it must be Always, it must be other brands that are doing this stuff as well. So I would say just do your own experimentation and this if Always is your favorite as well, just start to do your research and do patch tests aren't a thing with pads, but you just want to swap out your pad usage or swap out whatever brand you're using and just instead of opting for what you know to work for you, look for things like 100% cotton, look for these other methods, begin to read the ingredients and the labels on the boxes. If there's one reason why, if you're new here and you're like, why is she talking about reading the labels all the time? It matters because look at what Always is. Look at what's happening with them. Now, I trust that they'll get it together and that they'll be fine. But baby, that's just letting us know we all need to advocate for ourselves. And so that's why I advocate for y'all by telling y'all to advocate for yourselves and suggesting a couple ways. Same thing with tampons. These things go through a bleaching process. I didn't know that. And it wasn't until I switched brands to save cost did I just realize, okay, these things smell like chlorine and bleach. Is it me? Yeah, do your research. That's the same go for pads, tampons, period underwear. You want to get into knowing what other brands provide, what their quality is like, and swap out every once in a while for your menstrual cycle, maybe at the start of it or in between it, and have that as your go-to as your swap outs, just in case you face the same thing where it's like, nah, I can't justify spending this for a box of this for this brand, even though this brand is my favorite. Or you see what I'm saying? You want to make sure that you have something that you could fall back on brand wise and quality wise. Now, I will add this as a bonus to the video. So let's drop the mic. Here's the bonus section of your ultimate guide to surviving your menstrual cycle. Feminine washes. I personally like Summer's Eve, the nighttime cleansing wash. I use it during the daytime and the night. I basically ignore the nighttime suggestion. If you are leery about the scents and the pH balance, here are a couple alternatives Two, you know what? I'm gonna just go ahead and put this within the feminine hygiene bracket of the video. So if you see this, then it won't be at the end of the video. The Dove Original Bar Soap, that is good to wash down there with during your menstrual cycle. Just make sure you're using a really good washcloth, not particularly a white one. Okay, not a white washcloth, not during the time of the month. Use maybe a gray one, a nice fluffy one. Work that soap through there with running water, shower water, and then wash down and around the sides before you open yourself up, sis, and then go in there with it. And you want to rinse before you, okay, open up all your business. You want to rinse, wring it out, then run that soap through that washcloth. Then go ahead and, okay, open yourself up, sis, and then wash that inner portion of your vagina. That's what you want to do. Okay? Dove Original Bar Soap is good if you're not going to do Summer's Eve, or if you're opting to not do any feminine washes that are scented, opt for fragrance free. Summer's Eve has fragrance free. A couple of the brands just have like a totally fragrance free, odorless, colorless, just about odorless. It's see through the type of feminine wash, and just do that. And then there's Dove Original, and then there's the Dove Sensitive Skin Bar. That bar soap with the teal logo and packaging, I would opt. That is safe as well to try and use down there. It's worth it. Those are a few suggestions I can give for washing yourself down there. You also want to get yourself feminine wipes. If you're leery of feminine wipes, baby wipes is going to be your best friend, because baby wipes are for the most delicate parts of the precious sweet babies. And so why not use it for yourself and for your own lady parts? Baby wipes, they come in sensitive, they come in scented, they come in all kind of varieties. Majority of them are pH balanced. They're made for delicate skin, and that's delicate skin down there, sis. Your lady parts, it's delicate. Okay, that's what you got going on. You feel me? Okay. All right. Now, what happens after you have learned what your menstrual cycle diet is, and you've learned what to do with your feminine hygiene products? Let's move on to the next step. I think we need the microphone for this. I might edit that out. Ladies and gentlemen, the next step is sleep and rest. What good are you to get things done during your menstrual cycle if you're either staying up all night, sleeping in, and somebody come to wake you up? You're gonna be ready to give them a different set of hands, and you're gonna have to stop it. Okay, don't be that person. A lot of times, and I'm saying this from experience, a lot of times the only thing you need to smoothly get through your menstrual cycle is a good nap and a good rest, and to go to bed at a decent hour. If that looks like around midnight, go. If that looks like having everything done by 7, go. You know what is the best bedtime, but stick to it, or create a range of time. I'm using 7:30 just for an example. Stick to a range of 7 to 7:30 and be like, I need to be done with everything by 7 to 7:30 for either a good nap or to sleep throughout the rest of the night, so I can be efficient for the next day. Because if you don't get rest, I've always believed this, that a well-rested person is going to get stuff done. But a person that does not get enough rest, they don't. I'm a firm believer in that. Tired people don't work good. They need their rest, baby. Hear me when I tell you this. Tired people do not work well, because they think about how they can, the quickest way to get to sleep. They think about, man, I should have rested. This and this. Or they cranky. And a lot of times they try to fix it with what we addressed at the beginning of this video, which is your diet. They try to do it with caffeine, and then it creates the opposite effect. You feel high for a couple hours. High meaning you feel a sugar high for a couple hours, and then you crash. And then you still want to give people a different set of hands. That's not prayer. It's not prayer to our Heavenly Father. It's just a different set of hands, which will get them in further trouble. You heard me? Okay, that's all. It is important. Most importantly, I want to stress the importance of getting adequate rest. Set yourself a time range or a on the dot range to get to bed. If it fluctuates during your period, or you want to be able to work it around you addressing your symptoms. If you know you have moderate symptoms, light symptoms, heavy symptoms, you want to plan around that In addition to your diet, which we have addressed first, in addition to your feminine hygiene products and the use of the feminine hygiene products, which we've just addressed, and three, so it can be beneficial in the current step that we're discussing, which is getting adequate sleep and rest. That's all I got to say about it. I'm keeping this particular step short and sweet because why not? Now, after you figured out what to eat, what to do with your menstrual cycle product, what to do with your feminine hygiene products, and that you need adequate rest, something else that's going to help in the area of cramps, so that way you're not having to take as many and pain relievers and stuff, is exercise. I don't feel like doing squats. That's the last thing I feel like doing. Okay, cool. You know what's an easy exercise to do? Pick yourself a safe park, pick yourself a safe walking route, pick yourself a safe time range, work it around your schedule, specifically during your period, and walk it. If I don't care if you don't walk but one day out of your whole menstrual cycle period, and it's 3 days or 5 days or 4 days or whatever. Pick a day and say, I'm walking no matter what. Walking is the easiest thing to do, and it is cardio. Not a medical professional, not a dietitian, not a physical trainer. But I can tell you this from experience. Some of y'all probably seen my vlogs where I'm like, what is she talking about these cardio walks? They work. Plus, there's the potential to lose actual weight. Walking is the easiest thing to do. You'll be surprised how much better you're going to feel if you get out and walk one day of your menstrual cycle. Even if you feel like, okay, this ain't sustainable for me. Aim for one day out of your whole cycle, whether your cycle is 3, 5, or 7 days or whatever number. Pick a day and do it. Because the quicker you get moving, even if you only do it one day out of your whole cycle, no matter how many days it normally is, that's removing the stiffness from your body. You also want to stretch before you do that as well. Please seek a professional for all these tips. Whew, it has been fun. So if you're going to survive your menstrual cycle and your period successfully, you might as well get it done thoroughly and commit from start to finish. If any of this has helped you, please let me know in the comments. Or if you would like to have discussions about a couple of things, or you may have questions or concerns, and we can maybe share our experiences in the comments. I'm telling you this because I love you. When I think about love, it's one of the bravest things that you can do. It is patient, it is kind, it does not envy or boast, and it'll keep you on the coast of not being rude or self-seeking. Nor is it easily angered or seething mad. And it keeps no records of wrongs. It has no pleasure in evil, but it rejoices in the truth. And most of all,